Lots of dog noise today. Lots of dog noise today. Everybody wants a piece. Veggie. Veggie. Veggie Nation. All right, so we are currently getting set up to see how it's gonna go. A paranormal. A peace you shall have. Hey, Maeve. How are you guys doing? And girls and everybody else and everybody before, after, and in between. Hope you are having a good day. We are just getting our final pieces set up here, so we'll be starting in just a few minutes. Got some pretty... Hush. Hush, honey. He's coming back out. So yeah, just a few minutes to get things going, but lots of stuff today. Lots of fun. We'll talk a little bit about our outing yesterday. We had a good time. Evoluge to Scala Misket, yes. Oh, I like that. What did I change it to? I changed it to something I didn't like, and I changed it again this morning. I thought it was cuter. It's like Mystic Biscuit. I don't remember. Or Salty Biscuits or something. We do have coffee and Triscuits, although I think Rook took my Triscuits in. He might have stolen the Triscuits. Tea, a drink with jam and bread. Sorry, we also had to put one of the Chi-Chis up because, yeah, she's being a little angry. Or he, actually. The only boy, of course, is going to be the one who's... We should have said this earlier, too. Our new Chihuahua, I swear to God, is an empath.
Ouch!
We are live.
Oh.
Ouch.
That coffee was hot.
Would you spill it?
No, the cup pressed against my hand.
Oh.
I was sunburned.
It doesn't... Oh, you're not sunburned. You're a lightly
Totally
tanned.
sunburned.
You're an idiot.
I'm delicate. I'm very delicate. I have fair skin.
I like delicatessens.
Me too. Ooh, is this mine?
That is yours, I suppose, since
That
we're
is
claiming
cool.
items of ownership within the same house.
Well, we share.
No, it's yours.
We share.
Don't touch any of my stuff.
You've treated me so
Don't
good.
touch any of my
You've
stuff.
been so good to me this week. You got me a pin set and a pentagram necklace. Gave me a runic tarot deck.
I like how you focus on this week like I'm not on any other week.
You always
Okay.
are, but I'm thankful for this week. What's that big? Oh, that's a pen. Oh, cool. Yeah, I really like your idea to focus on a magical instrument every week. I'm digging it.
Yeah, we just figured, if we have too much, or if we have a little bit of structure, we'll be fine. But what I don't want to do is make into like everything has a structure. Like we do 15 minutes of X and 20 minutes of Z and blah, blah, blah. And I don't know my alphabet order, apparently.
Focus on a magical instrument every week. Hello.
Just pause it,
Oh.
because you don't need the video to run to see the chat.
Okay. You are so smart.
So
for
much
me.
easier.
You're so smart.
So we're going to add a couple of things in that we're going to try to have fun with. One of them is going to be looking at magical tools, like different things, and not talking about like just a wand and, an incense burner and blah, 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 but other neat things that we just tend to pick up and use along the way that we're excited about. So we're going to do that. That's going to be fun. That's going to be fun.
I thought Evolution put salty bitch.
Well, that would be appropriate,
That
too.
could be appropriate, too.
But that is my new name in Discord now is
Salty bitch.
Salty Biscuit.
Oh.
So rude. I actually thought it was very interesting. Just what is this? April something or other. We are heading towards fire season, right? Towards Beltane, and so I get up every morning and I read the news on whatever happens to be open. I don't like watching the news. I like reading the news so I can select things that I really want to pay attention to. And one of those things that I paid attention to today was dandelion. So dandelion was like in the national news. So if you look at MSN or any of the major channels, really, they tend to put these random stuff, editorials and things in there. And so there was a really, really cool article on dandelion, which I thought was also really cool because we were just talking about dandelion mead. That's one of the 2 meads that we're doing as soon as we get the last piece of equipment that we need to make it properly and safely, because we obviously need to do it safely.
Yeah, we got to get that going.
You have every opportunity while I'm traveling away in other states to go with Joy and get the last piece that we need.
Will you let me know what it is?
I don't even really know what it is. We have to go in and ask the people. It's like a basket of something.
A basket?
Yes. We have sanitizer because it has to be quaternary sanitized. We want to make sure that we do clean. We have pretty much everything, I think, except for the brew basket, which I think is what we're looking for. But anyway, I digress. So we're talking about dandelion. I wanted to talk a little bit about Earth Day. Talk a little bit about the tribe outing yesterday. That was really fun. Nice and social, relaxed, easy, breezy. Beautiful cover girl. No, it was just easy and breezy. I got lots of sleep last night. And I did not wake up in the middle of the night.
That's good.
And then whatever else happens, that's what we're going to talk about today. But we'll go video live in about 5 minutes or so.
No.
Woot woot.
Good morning, Ziggy.
That's awesome.
Thank you, Paranormal Witch. I wish we had a location like a church to do it in, maybe one day, but I guess our church as pagans is pretty much where we are, right? But that's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, we talked about that quite a bit yesterday on our travel home. I love the idea of having a location, but I also think that might kind of, close it out a little bit. Really? Thanks for getting her started. That was Rook, by the way, getting them started. Right in the middle of me trying to have this beautiful, strong conversation about Sunday service. I really just love that people want to be present with us, even if we're completely different states and countries or wherever, and just be present for a little bit of time together. That's really what makes service a service to me. It's not the topics. It's not a minister. It's not proselytizing. It's not dogma. It's just being present at the same time across the world, really. So I'm excited.
And the awesome thing about being pagan, or whatever you consider yourself, earth-based, is that all paths are valid and there's no right or wrong answer. So that's the best thing to me about it, is the ability to learn and practice and always be right.
She really thinks she's going to attack something and win. So we have the Chihuahuas inside and the Chihuahuas outside. We have one window open, and the Chihuahua outside is barking, and hearing the Chihuahuas inside barking because it's coming out the window and thinking it's across the street. So they're barking back and forth at each other. Oh my God.
Oh, hello. Yeah, hello.
And hi, Joy. Good morning. Long time no see since yesterday.
Joy and pain. It's like sunshine
I
and
was
rain.
thinking more along the joy to the fishes and the deep blue sea, joy to you and me. That was wrong. All right. Ben, hush. We might have to shut that window.
Okay, I shut it.
You don't have to right now. I'm just saying we might need to. I mean, if you want to, you can.
Well, good morning. Are you saying good morning?
These guys have been quiet the last 4 hours that we've been out on this back patio.
Yep. Not a peep, not a bark, not a roo, not a whimper.
What do you have to say? What's your thoughts, Vij? Do you agree with paganism, Vij?
She does.
Yes. Are you a witch?
She is a witch from Antarctica. Wouldn't she be? Isn't that where she would be?
I'm telling you, Finn is truly an empath. But yes, I would say she's from Siberia, because that's where she's from.
Siberia. Viji is a Siberian
husky trying to catch a fly that's not even close to her. Oh my goodness, these guys. I love them. But yeah, so that is going to be the thing today. And we also, I think that was the main thing. Rah, 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 rah. They're so aggressive. She is doing really well. She didn't tear up our room that bad. Just the mattress. Ma. F. Ma's not using her inside voice. Or her talking voice. I guess we were going to go ahead and turn on the thing. I think we've got everything set up the way we want it for now.
Do you think Patrick will fit under here? I got to show Patrick.
We have to.
Patrick, too, excuse me.
Patrick, too, likes to be in the limelight. Haha, get it? Limelight? Because he's lime.
He's lime.
He likes the limelight. Alright, I forgot how to do this. Like, I'm getting free fall. Hold on. Okay, cast. Ah, there we are. Good God, I need to go on the treadmill.
Wait, I can't see. Oh, me probably, too.
Man, who
Good
cares?
morning.
I like food.
I like food.
So I hope everybody has their coffee. I meant to ask you. I did not. So for real, that carrot cake coffee that you have, hold on. Is that what we're drinking?
No.
Okay.
Haven't opened it.
Okay, so you bought it.
Yes.
Like a week and a half ago. Yeah. And you bought it before that brand became a thing and topic of conversation in here.
Right.
What was the brand?
I can go get it in a minute.
Yeah, and I'm like, it was just there. Everybody was talking about how good it. I think Ziggy might have been the one talking about how good it was. And I'm like, I didn't know that we actually had some of that brand, but it's coffee, carrot cake coffee.
Yeah, we got some.
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool. Talk about synchronicities. Ziggy, we're on the waves.
Yeah, I haven't been a buy-inner of tea yet. I'm still a coffee person.
Coffee's fine. Ooh. Ooh. All right, so knock all the circles down. Good morning. I hope everybody has coffee or whatever their drink of choice is.
Mimosas, tea.
Yeah, you'll probably see some of the tools that we're going to actually talk about today. We have some ink. I have some dipping pens, so we're going to talk about those. We've had them for a while. Joy actually had come over and I think reignited our interest in them and made us bring them all out. Well, she didn't make us, but you know what I mean.
She brought it out in us.
She brought it out in us to bring them out. I think using different inks and colors and pens and things like that is not only magical, it's almost bringing out your inner kid, which that actually came up in our reading yesterday, the Child of Boons, when we were at the park. Unfortunately, that last two videos I cannot get to sync, so we probably lost those videos, but we'll live. So yeah, the circle is in place. We did add 3 things. I need one more piece for fire. We added what's left of our blend we're going to burn. I added the Larimar we took yesterday, and then the Bumblebee Jasper to represent those. We just need one for fire over here, and you know what? This is red, so there we go.
Well, and it's a dragon.
And it's a dragon, but not all dragons are fire.
True, but this one is, because I said.
Okay. Thank you, Paranormal Witch. I am actually wearing board shorts because I'm getting in the pool today at some point. And I'm wearing the one polo shirt that I don't wear to work because it's all torn up. So what do you want to start with? How's everybody doing?
How's everybody's week been?
Yeah, anybody mundane and magic? How is the week going? Have you done anything magic, or has everything been mundane? Or maybe we can add some magic today.
Maybe we can put a little magic in. I tell you, this is good for me because work, it just always seems to be, but has been especially daunting this week. And so this time, like yesterday, we were with Tribe, and then last night watching the podcast, and then today it just kind of helps the week a little bit better.
Yeah.
So thank you all.
I agree. All the things kind of roll together. We're starting to find a niche cycle or whatever I don't know what you want to call it. But a little cycle of this rest on really Friday is rest day after work. Get home, rest, relax, just zone for a little bit. Watch HGTV.
Yep.
Saturday, get up, enjoy the morning, do some witchy writings and stuff, a little bit of cleaning and just relaxing. Perhaps use Saturday to go out when we can. And
was
then,
that you or the Fae that put that gold there?
I believe that was your niece, but
Oh.
I won't
Cool.
want to claim it because I didn't say it, but it's been there.
I think it was a Fae.
Through
my niece.
She's a Fae. And then what else was I going to say? Oh, and then the podcast Saturday night to get all the brain trust.
Yeah,
And then today to just kind of exist in the same
Exist.
space. So one thing I don't know if everybody is comfortable with, and I don't even think I've told you this, Rook, but when we do this, and maybe we'll do it on video or on camera in the future, or maybe even next week, but I do call a circle. A real short circle that we wrote that we use on our inner circle that we call, because, you know, the way our house is actually perfectly due north, south, east, west. So we call to the corners before we get started. I think that's important. We probably should do it on camera at some point.
We'll do it. Even if the video's not on next week when we do it, we should have the
audio at least.
Yeah, at
The
least.
biggest reason that I don't keep it up as far as the way we start is because the candles won't stay lit out here. You can't. And I know it's silly to me, some people, but it's important to me to have those candles stay lit during a circle.
Oh, I forgot one thing I wanted to put up here to do it next week.
What?
My little lamps, the pentagram lamps I got.
Go bring them.
They're really cool. Yeah. Go get them. Those are cool.
But yeah, so and the reason we cast circles is because we are creating our sphere of just energy and safety and of communion with the group, with whoever comes in. And if you guys choose to do it too, that's great. If not, that's great too. You don't have to participate in that kind of stuff. That's our path, but we will share it with you. But I did want to kind of share that that's one thing that we do, because some of the things that we talk about and that we end up doing are really like magic tools and stuff. You know, our whole house is a magic area for us. This stone circle is so beautiful, Joy. We are going to take some video and pictures of it, and then we are going to disperse it. I think we have officially decided we are setting it up in the house in the yard to expand its sphere, with the gates keepers being entering from the west. So that's something we want to do too, but that's coming. I had some extra incense out here. I'm waiting for Rook to get back out, but so like I said, today we're doing dandelion. We're going to talk a little bit about Earth Day, because that was something we talked about in our group meeting yesterday. It was kind of a part of the park, and then we're going to talk about our tool of the day, and we're going to cleanse them, consecrate them, and use them.
Let's see where we can see them. You see that there?
Yeah, that's pretty.
Now we got a pagan church going.
Then we'll burn a little copal
Hopefully it doesn't catch on fire.
with some styrax. It's not going to catch on fire.
Yeah. Do they show up at all?
They do. They do.
Cool.
They're north and south. There's your copal, warding off the evil.
Oh, I need it. I love copal. Ooh.
So hopefully you guys are all doing well. Things are going positively for you. But we're going to get started. So one of the things that I wanted to kind of talk about today, which I thought was cool because it showed up in the news, right? Not pagan news or pagan chat. It just was literally in my news feed. It's like, hey, here's a whole article about dandelions. And it's called The Untold Truth of Dandelions. And by a gentleman named Zan Indigo, I believe. Or a female. I don't know, actually. I don't know why I assumed that. That's terrible. By an individual named Zen Indigo.
Zen Indigo?
And they wrote this, and it gave a lot of really good information. I have not checked this information, so if you, in fact, know that it was not from a French word, de lion, feel free to comment and share that. But and this isn't an academic research paper, so
Food for thought.
food for thought. So, and honestly, the real cool thing to me was the fact that it came up right when we were talking about dandelion mead and all kinds of stuff like that. So it was kind of cool that those things came up. And I think that it's important that dandelion truly is that first mead that we push together, the dandelion and then the blueberry. We're doing them both together anyway, so. But it'll be neat to say that our first mead ever was dandelion because that's what Spirit is showing us right now. So the name came from Dent de Lion, which is lion's tooth because of the serrated leaves on dandelion. Now, one thing I did not know is that the genus is Taraxacum, and that is the genus, from a genus species name, and it means inflammation cure. So it is very well known in inflammation. Obviously, we're not saying you need a whole bunch of dandelions to cure your inflammation, whereas, ibuprofen may be an option for you. However, research after research after research does actually show dandelion is one of those things that will help with inflammation, kind of like turmeric. But the one thing that dandelion also does is it's a bit of a laxative and a bit of a diuretic. So it can be made into a tea. All parts of it can be eaten or drink. What else is about dandelion that I thought was cool? Obviously, you can make mead out of it, and other alcoholic drinks. It's been very well known and well used, the flower or petals, in drinks for millennia. Teas, most of it alcoholic, and there is 250 distinct species of dandelion with 2,800 variants.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and so there was this whole thing where people were like, well, the dandelion came from, it was invasive. It came from Europe. It came from Europe. But, and it did. So the one that we know very well, the most common one, was the European officinalis. I think it was Taxicarum officinalis. I have it written down somewhere in the bullets. But it was brought over in the 1600s. But the Americas, North America, South America, already had their own indigenous species of dandelion. Huge pollinator for bees. I mean, we even have, I think our honey that we're going to use for the mead is dandelion honey. From an apiary, which is a beekeeper, an apiary up in Tampa that has a field of dandelion and other wildflowers, and that's where they get the pollen to make the honey.
So I like that it's local. That's good. Locally sourced.
Everything is locally sourced, including what we bought. Note to anybody who was just watching that.
Oh, it's not
if
hot.
you put metal over top of a candle, it will become hot.
But it's not on the bottom. Which is good.
The heat. Anyway.
Because it could catch.
It's really good for soil erosion. So, they have really deep, wide roots. So a lot of people are they want to get rid of dandelions because it's a weed, when really the only definition of a weed is, something that you don't want in your garden. Everything that you don't want in your garden is a weed, and everything you do want in it, it's not a weed. So if you like dandelion and you have a dandelion garden, it's no longer a weed for you.
Right.
And it holds the ground together. It helps loosen it up and disimpact. Oh, that's a terrible word for nurses. To disimpact the soil. Supposedly more nutritious than spinach and broccoli. It's rich in calcium, potassium, and iron. It has latex in the sap, so if you're allergic, that's bad.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah,
a lot of people
I did not know that.
To latex.
Have you ever broken a dandelion stem? It's white, milky stuff. It's really thick, white, milky stuff, and I like it. It feels neat.
I have not.
You can make tea, wine. It's used for making root beer, which I think would be really awesome.
That'd be a good craft.
There's a traditional alcoholic beverage called dandelion and burdock. Still available in the UK, but it's not traditional alcoholic. I'm going to look to see if I can find that somehow. And the main reason why dandelions are considered weeds is because they infiltrate lawns, and lawns were a symbol of status. If you had an all green lawn with no weeds, that means you were rich enough to have a green lawn and to have people to work your lawn to keep it green. Isn't that a terrible reason? So I really like dandelions more now than I did before.
I'm trying to think of the word, that cafe I really want to go to for the faux, maybe it's faux alcoholic drinks. I wonder if that's one thing that those little cafes used. It's not called faux alcoholic, but it's the effects like the kava that have alcohol effects are similar to, but it's not alcohol.
fermented or any type of that beverage. Yeah.
I'd love to try that out. Probably better
So
for
Joy
you.
is sharing tonic. Yes. First greens for salad. I actually read that you should harvest if you're making for salad. You harvest the greens before they flower, and then you can look in the rest of the field and you can harvest the dandelion petals and blooms to actually eat as well to give it a sweetness to it. But it is definitely better if you harvest first. And then she's indicating they're water aligned. Didn't specifically know or read that, but that's really interesting. As a very earth aligned person, it's interesting that I am a water aligned. Like water is my go-to for everything. I'm definitely more. Maybe I should say my what do you call it? My not goal, but my purpose in life is to learn water because I'm obsessed with it. Anybody have anything else they know about dandelions? I just thought that was a lot of really cool stuff. I don't know if it does or not. I would assume so, but then again, alcohol, in its own nature, is a diuretic.
And caffeine.
Well, yeah, caffeine. Yeah. But I think you have to eat a lot to have that caffeine or that diuretic or laxative effect. You have to eat a lot of the greens and the flowers. But that would be neat to know. Well, we're going to make the meat and we're going to test it out. And if I get the shits and giggles, I'll let you know. If that's the result.
Or if you lose a lot of water weight.
Well, yeah. It helps the diuresis. If you need to take that, you need to go.
Let me see real quick.
It's who? Oh. They said Mona. We're sorry, the number you've reached is no longer in service. So Rook has got to take a call real quick. I assumed that Evoluge. Although diathetic, I would probably need to look that up and see what that means now because I don't know what that means. I assume diuretic, but yes. Alcohol is a diuretic as it is because it drops the osmolality of what's in your blood and in your bloodstream. So then it sees when it goes through the glomeruli, which is the little teeny tiny blood vessel capsules in your kidneys. Wherever there's more fluid, it selectively and allows some osmosis, but also selectively allows things to cross over, which is why your pee changes color when you drink. It goes crystal clear because your body's pushing out all of its water, so everything's super diluted, and then the next day it's usually super yellow because you have nothing to dilute it. So, let's see. Yes, okay, so Joy indicates the fermentation process takes care of that. So, yeah, makes sense. I don't know a lot about the fermentation process. I just know the alcohol itself is a diuretic. So, even if it did carry some of that over, it probably wouldn't be any more noticeable than any other liquor, I guess. Just judging by that. Maeve, that is absolutely cool. Actually, I appreciate that. Thank you for doing that. If anybody has anything to add on that dandelion thing, though, we want to hear it. She good?
Yeah. So I can call her back. She's going to tune in.
Oh, God.
So. Mama Rook.
Mama Rook might be stopping by. Mama Rook, that's cute.
Or Rock. Actually, I kind of like that. Rock name because more than one person have called me Rock throughout the past 3 or 4 years. Maybe I should maybe the universe is telling me it should be Rock.
Yeah, whatever works for you. That's up to you.
It's kind of cool.
I do want to make root beer at one point. My dad actually made ginger root beer and sassafras root beer. Freaking amazing. And I really want to try to figure out how to do that again. Other thing that I thought was real cool that I want to mention before we go off of dandelions that I had in my notes. The U.S. Forest Service has this whole thing on ecology and stuff like that, of course, because it's the U.S. Forest Service.
Hey, Mama.
Hi, Mama. And that I can't see the chat right now. And they mention that dandelions are considered a pioneer species, and what that means is where land is heavily damaged or eroded or lacking of nutrients. dandelions can appear, and when they go through their cycle and start, they add the fruitfulness and the growth back into the land, which I thought was cool. I mean, that's something that can be seen as a pagan theory or idea, but it's not. It's truly something that's documented in the cycle of how Earth recovers itself. I'd be interested to see when we get all the forest stuff here. What do you call it? All the forest fires and things.
Yeah, like they burn acres and acres.
And that's part of the Earth cycle, recycling and energizing fields. But I think it'd be neat to see if dandelions are something that pops up a lot after that. According to the Forest Service, it is. So yeah, hello, Miss Susie. We just got done talking about dandelions. I wonder, do birds eat dandelions? Dandelion seeds, maybe? Do dandelions have seeds? Yes, they do. The big white fluffy power. We saw a bunch of those yesterday, by the way. The snow caps, the dandelion seed drift. There's a word for them. I can't think of it. But they were floating all over the place in that one little section that we walked into where I was trying to do a video and you walked right in through the video and then messed it all up. You remember that?
Which time?
Do you remember that?
Which time?
All the times.
It was like 3 times.
Probably should not have had another cup of coffee. I'm used to having 1 cup of coffee a day. And I am hyper. Also, the past 3 weeks, I've woken up every single day at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I can't get back to sleep for an hour, and then I've never had trouble sleeping before. Last night, I slept through the whole night. So that was also very nice. Dandelion and milk thistle. I've heard of milk thistle, don't know it. But I definitely would like maybe we should go to a park today and get some dandelion and make some tea. The only thing you have to be careful with about wild caught dandelion, wild harvested dandelion is you get it from somebody's lawn or somebody's stuff. Homes.
Pesticides.
Yeah. Residential people use 4, 5, 6 times more pesticides to kill weeds than commercial, which is ridiculous. But
ooh, fresh air indeed.
So the other thing I wanted to talk about was Earth Day.
Earth Day.
So we a little bit, it mentioned liver, kidney, and I forgot the other one. I don't remember. There's 3 organs that it says it's really good for: liver, kidney, and one more.
Anti-inflammatory.
It's anti-inflammatory, good for liver,
digestive
kidney,
issues.
GI. That was the other one.
Yeah, digestive.
Yeah. So it helps balance all those things. And I'll be honest, from what I've learned just in the short bit of time that I've been focusing more on herbs and things, it goes back to moderation of things, like everything in moderation. I don't know, with the recent issues I've been having with my hip, I might be out in the middle of the fields chowing down on some dandelions face down. Never mind. I'm not going to say that because that would be inappropriate.
That's the way we like to what? I'm just kidding.
That's welcome to Pagan Sunday service.
Yeah, you won't get that in your
face
church
down,
service.
ass up. But anyway, so Earth Day. So I think maybe not. I don't know if everybody knows what Arbor Day is. Arbor Day is different than Earth Day. I did not know that. I just kind of thought they were the same thing and they just changed the name. But Arbor Day is all about planting a tree. So on Arbor Day, and I remember doing this in like 1st grade, 2nd grade, they'd give us this little teeny pine tree sapling. We'd go home and plant it. And everybody'd be all happy. You planted a tree, and then next week Dad would mow it down. Because it's like this big.
Does one know when Arbor Day is?
Same day as Earth Day. So it's yesterday.
Okay, so we had it.
The 22nd,
All
the day before yesterday.
Same day every year?
April 22nd every year.
It doesn't change like Easter?
It does not change like Easter. Thou hast risen, does not know. So Arbor Day is one thing, and I did not know it was separate. I just thought, it was kind of all a thing. But Arbor Day is specifically about everybody should plant a tree. I think that's a great thing anyway. Like, you should do that anyway. We went out in our land and we went around when we did the mowing. We made sure to go around some of the trees to give them an opportunity to grow. So that was a good thing. But Earth Day is always on April 22nd. Does anybody know why Earth Day is always on April 22nd?
I do not.
Anybody know? I'm hyper.
What is significant about April 22nd? I can Google it. Do you already know the answer?
So, Maeve, can you give us a couple of examples of what hardwoods would be if you know? I think I know. Like, I think apple is a hardwood, considered a hardwood. Um,
Oh,
but do you have any other examples of that? Because that would be kind of cool to think about too.
yeah.
You know?
Hardwood trees.
So, the reason Earth Day is on April 20th. Oh, yeah, Maeve should know all about hardwood. Let us know in the comments, Maeve, about hardwood. Um, because in 1970, when Earth Day was coined and made into a thing by some
Amelia Earhart.
congressmen
I'm just kidding.
and women, or men and women,
Ooh,
I don't know at
oak.
the time.
I wonder if oak is one.
It was halfway between spring break and final exams at the university, so they could get more people to participate. That's why it's on April 22nd. Something else I learned today.
That's smart.
Yeah. Well, because it was, I mean, it wasn't meant to be like this thing. It was two senators in 1969, G. Nelson and P. McCloskey, along with later an activist named Dennis Hayes, birthed Earth Day. And they chose that time because more people could get involved. People were starting to get concerned about the environment. I mean, in 1970 when it started, that was the first one. But I just thought it was pretty cool. They did it between the spring break and the final exams to get more people to do it. And it was already Arbor Day to plant a tree. So they birthed them together and had Earth Day. Now, while we missed actually doing anything on Earth Day, we often say, especially as pagans, that every day is Earth Day. Because we should always be considerate and thoughtful of what we're doing and how it affects the Earth. Like yesterday, when we went to the park, it was very important for all of us to make sure that there was no mark left behind when we left. So nothing we did would leave the land worse off than it was, if not better. So that was very important for us.
Oh, Maeve is saying Murbow, if I'm saying that right, oak, walnut, ash, beech, mahogany, and maple.
Okay.
Or some. Well, thank you for that.
Yeah, so deciduous tree. Oh god, this is bringing back my biology of the dicots and the monocots and the all that stuff. Yes, wood for smoking. That's why I thought of apple wood. I think apple is one of the ones that people use a lot for smoking, like apple wood smoked ham and bacon and things like that. I have a feeling or remember that was a hardwood. I could be wrong, but
Excuse me.
yeah. So I mean that's pretty interesting. And I think the other thing, Earth Day is celebrated in 190 different countries. It is the largest secular celebration in the world, supposedly, which is pretty cool. That means no matter what you do, who you are,
What you believe?
Earth Day is the one thing that brings us all together. We all believe that whether you are a conservationist or not, whether you believe in global warming or not, I don't think anybody can argue that it's not good to plant a tree. You know what I mean? Like that would be a hard sell. And Evoluge, Tuscala, I would love to hear more about that. The largest man-made forest in the world. That sounds pretty cool. It sounds kind of self-defeating, a man-made forest, but I mean, I get where that comes from because the man made the forest, but really the earth made the forest. The man just helped organize it and put it where it was. There's also a really neat story about a gentleman who what was I gonna say? He like took over, and maybe this is the same thing. I don't know, but took over an area and just slowly over time just started planting trees and planting trees and planting trees to the point where it was just this huge, beautiful, very enchanting forest. I thought that was pretty cool. Well, secular, as far as that is. Ducks are awesome. Saw some ducks yesterday. I'm gonna put some pictures up at some point too, probably on Facebook. But lost quite a few, unfortunately.
Ooh, mesquite wood. Yeah, I'd like to look that up.
Let's anybody know if mesquite is considered a hardwood? Babe, I'm gonna write those down. It looks Merbau. I've never even heard of that, and I want to know more about it. Maple makes sense.
Oak. I like that oak is. That's.
I wonder what is it that we have a southern live oak right here. I wonder, and I used to know this stuff. I just it's gone out of my brain. But I wonder what makes a deciduous tree, one that loses its leaf each year. What makes it specifically a hardwood? Is it? I mean, it sounds dumb to say is it the level of hardness of the wood, but I mean, is it the way the rings are made? I'm thinking on a cellular level. That'd be very, very neat.
So our beautiful palm trees are not hardwood trees.
No, they're not hardwood.
Because we planted 3 of those recently.
Yeah.
So we'll have to look
My
at
guess
some
is
hardwoods.
softwood probably grows faster.
Yeah.
Which is another reason why people probably want to replace hardwood with softwood. But yeah, that's a very interesting topic. I definitely would love to have that conversation at some point if somebody ever wanted to come on, because that's a pretty hefty discussion to get into. I think never thought of it that way. We could really go off the end on that. If everybody in the group would go out and plant one hardwood tree, that'd be neat. And of course, you want to pick something that's local to your area, or it's appropriate for your area.
That just makes me think.
Slower growing and denser, yeah.
Palm trees are not native to Florida, is that right? Or some are?
Some are.
Some
There's like
are.
1 or 2 that were native to Florida. The rest were imported because they're pretty. And I don't know which ones those are. But yeah, very interesting topic.
That's
That tree is really pretty.
Oh, it's usually denser.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which
Johannesburg.
makes sense.
Urban forest. More than 10 million trees. That's awesome. Oh, Johannesburg.
South Africa. Largest man-made urban forest with more. That is awesome. I think that's something like we own just a small bit of land. I think that one of the things that's really important to us is not to allow those things, those to be torn down. So even when we're designing where we may build out there or put stuff, it's going to be around the trees. We're not moving the trees to fit us.
Yeah.
Because they were there first. Now, if there's some that are rotten or might fall down, then sure, we're going to address those. But I just kind of feel like for every tree we have to take down for that specific reason, we'll put 2 up.
We gotta figure out a way to do this from the land, even if it's 30-minute stop and restart it from the camera, if it can do it to YouTube.
Well, the 30 minutes doesn't matter when you're live on the camera. That's for recording. It's the bandwidth of being able to stream. Now, I will say, and I'm tooting my horn here. I do understand that it is there is a lot of precious metals involved and a lot of creation of things that are not good for the earth and creation of solar panels. However, we have now reached 1.5 months straight of 100% energy independence as far as solar is concerned.
Generating. Energy.
So we are generating enough energy to cover all of our electrical needs and then some with solar panels on our home. And hopefully they last as long as they say they will, because they will be carbon neutral, but it takes a while.
Said they're supposed to last 50 years, right?
Yeah, they won't.
They
I mean,
won't
we're going to
last
have to
50.
replace them before that, but I think it's 3 years to be carbon neutral, which means in 3 years, all of the energy it took to create them, transport them, mine them, and all of that stuff should be balanced out. Which, it's nice to feel like everything we're doing, even the stream right now, it's all based on solar. So we're excited about that.
I'd love to get an electric car after more research, though, to see if the production of them is more harmful and when there's more stations and what that process looks like.
Yeah.
It would be great. Because there's one worse than the other. I don't know.
Research it. Anybody have a favorite tree?
Oh.
I do. Do you know what my favorite tree is?
No, it's a river birch.
Okay. We're about to get the divorce papers
River
out to
birch.
sign. We're going to talk about that in a minute. I mean, not the divorce, the pin. Yes, river birch is my
River
favorite
birch.
tree. It is just magnificently, amazingly magical to me. Um, Maeve, that is a dream of mine. The next thing that we're doing here is getting gutters replaced with a rain collection system because in Florida, that is actually
It's allowed,
one
right?
state it's actually promoted is rain collection, safe and appropriate rain collection, which we are going to do to help manage some of our, watering, maybe even the pool for that matter. But but yeah, river birch is truly my favorite. If you don't know what a river birch is, look it up. It's got that beautiful like silvery bark that peels with the brown underside.
Mm-hmm.
It just like glows. It's so silvery and brown together. And then the leaves are usually smaller, about that big, but they're deeply ridged and very, very textured. I love them.
What were those trees called? Do you know, in Virginia, they had so many, and in the spring they would just blossom with teeny, teeny flowers that look like snow almost.
Depends on what part you're in. If you're in the southern area, it's usually crepe myrtles and dogwood.
Oh yeah, I like those. Crepe myrtles.
And up north, it was cherry trees in those areas. All right, so Evolution is talking about willow trees. Yes, I love willow trees.
Oh yeah.
Especially the weeping willow. But there are lots of different kinds of willow trees.
Coconut palm. I love palms.
Yes, Miss Chin with the palm trees.
I
Yes,
love
coconut
them.
palms are awesome.
I love them.
I'm a little more fan of the super full fern-like ones, like the royal palms. I just love how they get it looks like a fern. It kind of makes you feel like you're in the Jurassic period to me.
Mm-hmm.
But palm trees are gorgeous. I just love the ferniness of them. The ferniness, whatever that means.
Ferniness.
The ferniness.
Well, can I bust out my pen, or is it not time yet?
Bust out whatever you want that doesn't get us blocked.
I want to show. So, I see the things up, so I can put this kind of under. I won't touch
Just
it.
be careful.
Very careful.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was surprised this week with a pen set, a quill pen set from Mystic, and I'm really excited because the only type of magical pen I've ever had has been a tool pen that I consecrated, and it was time for me to get one more conducive to what I wanted for magical purposes and a trip almost back in time a little bit. It's not a true feather quill pen, but a modern variation. And so as you can see, it came with a lot of tips or nibs to change. So if you wanted to draw something or sketch something, you could change it out and have different thickness lines and purposes.
I think it's exciting.
But it's really cool because now I've got a pen, once it's consecrated, that I can use for spells, writing in my Book of Shadows, which I finally got one after about 4 years, that I'll show in another video before I write anything in it. But it's only appropriate, and I'm very appreciative of my, I don't know if it can be seen, magical pen.
Yes, it can absolutely be seen.
So it's like a teal feather, probably dyed, with flecks of gold in it.
It's so pretty.
It's really pretty. And in the set also came with a stamp and wax to do stamps, a little, I think, a letter opener, a candle, and some ink, and some more nibs.
Yeah.
So that's cool. And you have one as well, don't you?
Yeah, so not to be leaving myself out, when I got Rook his, I went ahead and got my own, just a smaller one, but I think most people know I have a little bit of an obsession with steampunk. So it got me a steampunk version. So I'm very excited. Yes, sure, it surely died. But mine is a little bit less, like I don't have the same kind of nib and stuff because I'm not as interested in the calligraphy stuff that Rook is truly interested in. I think that is pretty awesome thing to kind of consider. So But for me, it's just for writing, and I really do write a lot, and I enjoy writing. So, but yeah, so there's that, and then I've had for kind of a longer time a couple of different kinds of pens. Which, by the way, pens is the topic that we were gonna talk about today. So this is just a standard fountain pen. I enjoy fountain pens. You know, you could just ask me instead of getting ink all over your face.
Did I get it all over me?
Everywhere. It's embarrassing. Just kidding. I also am very big on glass pens, so I really enjoy having a lot of glass pens, which are just simple dip pens, and then this is also a simple dip pen. This is things that I like and have used magically to write with. So before I use mine, I'm going to cleanse it in a little bit of Kapal.
Misspelled hello.
How do you misspell hello?
Ah.
So important thing right now for me is no tools are, to me, required, right? Sorry, I'm paying attention to this and it won't, because partial melt.
Love it. You almost feel like you're going back in time a little bit.
Yeah.
I
We
like
don't
it.
have to bear down hard. I can see you writing all the way through that paper. I'm not critical, y'all, I promise. The most critical. Yeah, I love calligraphy and I think it's pretty, but I think I might get too frustrated too easy with it. So, plus I really like writing. So, that's it gives me that joy. So, I stick with the writing at this time. I will tell you, one of the things that I do enjoy doing is, when you cleanse an item for use, you cleanse it to drop the things off, and then you consecrate it to devote it to a magical practice. It does help give you a different mindset of what you're doing and why.
Writes very nicely.
So when you cleanse something, running it through smoke or water or dribbling water, salt, dirt, different kinds of things you can do to cleanse it, you're just really imagining and thinking and asking for any negativity that was in the creation or things that may have affected the energy or dropped off or carried away in the smoke. And then consecrating would be a little bit different. It is dedication. It's like I dedicate this pen to be used in my magical writings to be specific to things that I do in circle or for writing rituals or for whatever it is that you want to do. Do you have to do it? Absolutely not. The reason I like doing consecrating and cleansing of magical tools is when you do that, it kind of puts them in a different category. And when you go and you sit down and you grab your journal and you grab your magical item or pen or whatever, it changes kind of your mindset or your thought process and how you actually get into something, which I think is pretty neat and beneficial to the cause.
I think it really focuses your intent.
Love it.
Intent.
I also like to use different colored inks. I've got gold, green, and blue, and purple here. But just really enjoy using these items and things like that for a specific reason. So, there you go. I see your pen and your nib.
I love it. I just love it.
So each week we're going to try to talk a little bit about a different tool or something that we use. Do you need like I said, do you need a magical pen? Not really. Is it kind of cool to have one? Yeah.
I think it's way cool.
Can it be a regular ballpoint pen like you had? Yeah. It just, when you set it aside for that specific thing, it kind of changes your mindset when you're actually writing. I know it does for me.
Yeah.
But I like using and processing things in that manner.
And it makes you focus, because so far about every fourth word I've had to redip. So that makes you kind of pause, focus while you're dipping on what you're going to write. I think it's very cool. Required, needed, no. Cool. And for me, like reading and writing and listening to music have always been ways that I kind of meditate or get in a zone. I have not been able to do the breathing yet. I just can't do it. It's an issue with me. It bores me and it frustrates me, but maybe I'll get better with that. But writing, music, and reading definitely help me get into a different place. You're looking at me like I'm evil.
No, I was just doing a couple of breaths, so getting into my place. So what would you recommend for cleansing a scrying mirror?
A scrying mirror?
Because we actually have a whole bunch of scrying mirrors that we made.
Yeah, we do.
Thankfully, with Joy, that is one of our videos. It was very fun. That was a blast. I want to do it again and see how it might work with different colors. But what do you think? Like, it depends. Like, for me, when I cleanse something, I don't feel like you have to cleanse it. Like, I almost have like a quick version and then a full version. Almost like, a quick format versus a full format of a hard drive. The quick version for me is generally smoke, and I just imagine negative energy being pulled off in the smoke. If it's something that's going to be seriously used for like divination tools like that, like a wand or a scrying mirror or a scrying bowl, I would probably do a little bit of cleansing from each element. So I'd run it through smoke for air. I'd hover it over without melting it or burning it, carefully, over the flame for fire. Or I would imbue something red on it to help keep it cleansed. I would do a sprinkling of water for earth, and then maybe a sprinkling of salt. A sprinkling of water for water and a sprinkling of salt for earth.
Or she could do what she said and clean it with salt water.
Yeah.
And you capture both water and earth.
I think salt water, in any one of those things is perfectly fine. It's to me, it's not necessarily what you use to do it. It's what is the intent and what is it going through your mind at the time you're setting that intention with it. It's like the scrying mirror is something that I'm going to be using. I want to be able to see things clearly in the scrying mirror, whether it's the future, whether it's things that are happening, things that I can or can't change. I want it only to be truthful, and I want to only use this for things that will be beneficial, even if they're hard to understand or they're hard lessons. I still want them to be truthful.
Put it out in the moonlight. Put it out in the sun for a couple hours. Just make sure you don't start a fire.
Yeah.
Anything, yeah.
But all those are good.
And whatever feels right to you.
Yeah, I don't think there's any one way that you have to do it. Smoke is really common because smoke gets into like the corners of things, and I think that's one of those things that really helps in cleansing is the visualization. Also, for me in my brain when I'm using smoke, I actually picture like negative ions hopping off of it into the smoke and being carried up into the atmosphere, and that helps me when I use that item the next time to think, hey, there's nothing attached here. Joy says smoke mirrors should be wrapped in silk or wool. Why is that? A soft cloth of natural material is best. Moonlight, love it. I know we've done quite a few things by either burying them if they're stone.
I love burying stuff overnight.
Moonlight. But again, for me, when I do a cleansing, if I'm cleansing it with all four elements, I'll do one of each thing separately, completely separate. So water and salt together I wouldn't necessarily do, but I would do water and then I would do salt. But I'm interested in why the silk or wool natural material. I think you actually mentioned that during when we did them, and I just don't remember. You remember? I don't remember from a cleansing. Joy, standpoint. I think she had mentioned it. Anyway, it might be too much to type. I don't know. But I love that, like the moonlight. It makes sense to have natural fibers really for everything, anything that you'd want. But I don't know why silk or wool specifically. Joy is definitely the resident material expert. Yes. So
she can tell us.
Natural insulators. I love that.
Like the pendulums, and you did some too. but I buried mine out overnight, and that was really cool. And I did that because to put it in the earth for cleansing, I really wanted to be the things that I was going to be asking questions about were earth related or mundane, tied to our normal life. So that's why I chose to cleanse it in the dirt. And I just love the dirt anyway.
And I do too. My name's Ma Petite Mademoiselle Poissette.
Her ears are bigger than her whole body. Ma. Hello, baby. Oh, she gave me a dirty eye. But yeah, so like, I think, using magical tools is really important, and we're going to highlight a different thing each week. I don't think it's a bad idea if you want to show your book, because you're going to want to write in it.
I may write it this week, so it's I'm not going to show it after I start using it, so I will go get it now.
Yeah.
And Patrick. Patrick would like to come.
Oh, excuse me. The whatchamacallit's wearing off. Coffee, thank you. One of the things that I do that's a little bit different when it comes to writing and journaling and that kind of thing is, like, it's important to me to really
Maybe.
write. Writing is important to me, actually. Just we're gonna leave it as simple as that. But in addition, I like to separate things out. So, for example, I have a tarot journal that's kind of like a book of shadows, but it's all things tarot related. When I have certain feelings with reads that I'm not familiar with, that would go in my tarot journal. This is my general journal of magic stuff, so I'm writing things in here that I experience and do from a magical perspective. So that's kind of how one of the things that I do with this. You can see, the spreads, different spreads that we do and things like that, but just general handwriting. I don't know if you guys can see that, but yeah. So that's that journal. I have a separate rock journal for things that I do with rocks. And then at last, finally, but never least, I have the journal that's just kind of the hodgepodge of everything else that I can find. And so I keep all those things together. I then rewrite them into like story style or adjustable style and put it in our main grimoire, which we are putting together as we speak, but it's electronic. It's not specific focus. That's kind of like what we do, or what I do, specific to that. Now, Rook has his journal here. Go ahead. Tell us about it. It's beautiful. I'm so jealous of that. It looks a lot smaller than it is. I mean, it is bigger than 8.5 by 11, so it is a full size.
So I've never had a book of shadows. I've never had a grimoire. I've never had a journal. So this will be my all three. So I wanted to show it just before I put anything in it. Of course, I'm going to decorate it, but it's made to look real old worldy with the pages. I don't know if you can see them, stained with coffee or tea to give it that old feel and old look to it.
I love it. It's so pretty.
But one thing, there's so many ways you can do one of these. You can do electronic, and any way is fine. You can do a 3-ring binder so that pages and sections are easily organized, moved, changed. I wanted this style because I like the old feel to it, and I'm going to treat it just as a journal where I go by the date and whatever I'm doing that date. And I've got to figure out a way, so like if there's a spell or a ritual, I want to remember where it's located. I'm going to figure out a little tabbing system so that, or an index, like a little separate index so I can find with the pages numbered. But I just thought that was so cool and wanted to show it before I start putting stuff in it, because then you don't really show your stuff. But
so pretty to me.
Not that you can't, but
that has to be one of the prettiest made books that I've ever seen.
And I wish you could see the dark ridges on the pages in here.
I think it's seeable.
Really cool. And that's the kind of the binding of it.
I so want to learn how to make that. I know how to make the paper.
Yeah, you can make the paper, but it is bound.
That's what I don't know how to do.
And so I'm excited to have my first journal, Grimoire Book of Shadows, personal book.
I love it. And we really need to see how it reacts to the different lighting and stuff. Writing, the inks and things that we have.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
So, but that's cool. If I had to say of all of the tools that I have that is most important to me, it probably is the writing tools. It's the pens and the paper, pens and the books. Those are probably the most important things to me. I really do enjoy converting those things electronically so that they're indexable and organized. And if Rook wants to share any of his specific things, those will go in the grimoire as well. The big one that we're kind of writing electronically, but they will all be backed by the different, journals and things that we have. I think that would be very interesting. So yeah, anybody have any tools that they're really, really attached to or that are very helpful in their practice? I'd love to hear about other tools. I guess you can see we have all kinds. That is probably my fault from the Virgo-ness of things.
There to go.
I have to have things. I like my things. I will say on that front, though, just as a random thought, it became a lot easier for me to personally use tools when I also recognize that I don't any longer need them. I used to be really attached to tools inappropriately. Like, I had to have it for something to work. And I had to achieve. I had to have more. I had to own things and have more stuff. And then once I was able to do it, you kind of reorganize that process in your brain. And I realized that I don't need any of this stuff. You don't need any of it. None of it. Even tarot cards. You don't need tarot cards. You can go out if you meditate, ground yourself, pay attention, pull some twigs, crackle them up in your hands, break them into pieces, and throw them down. And you can get what you're looking for out of that because nature is going to give you what you need. The tools are just that. They're just tools. It doesn't prevent existence.
You can make your own stuff. You can make
Yeah.
your own pendulum, which I actually want to do together. I don't think it's very hard, but it'd be fun to do.
Choosing what we would use is probably pretty easy. I know, I don't know. I've never done that. Some other things that I would love to do is I want to make jewelry. I think that would be fun. I do want to learn calligraphy, but I kind of want you to, that's your thing, and I don't want to overtake it. So I want you to learn it. Maybe you can
really
teach me.
want to learn it. I think that'd be so cool to be able to write so
Yeah,
nicely.
we've made our own candles, which we've had fun with. They smell great. We want to do that again. Soaps. All those things are things that you
Face
craft
wash,
and we do
toner.
face wash, which mine are pretty good.
I want to learn to make shampoo next. I think that'd be fun.
It'd be different.
Shampoo and conditioner.
I like making oils and rollers type things like these. Oh god, that is tiny. I don't think there's any way anybody's gonna see that. But these are made from moon water from the last full moon. Also has lapis lazuli and rose quartz in them, along with 3 drops of essential oil that are specific for spring into summer. And unexpectedly, when you use it, it's got this smell to it. It's so good. Can't get the chat up on this thing.
My chat's paused too somehow.
Yeah, I don't know.
A little bit of structure.
Or maybe nobody's typing. Could be.
No, my whole thing just kind of went down. My whole YouTube on my thing here. Not even just chat. But anyway, so I like doing stuff like that and making things. Crafts are fun. They're always, to me, enjoyable. There we go. Okay, it's back up. I was just making sure like the stream was still working because my stuff got screwy. But yeah, so creativity and making things is very important, I think, for one. And for two, um, being intentional and thinking through why you're doing something in a specific manner and the purpose of it, and then using it for that purpose is also important. That does kind of go along with me. To me, it kind of goes along with the whole magical tools thing. I just don't want anybody to think at any point that you have to have anything magic. That tool pen does just as well as anything else that you would want to use. So,
It all comes from within, and we all have within us earth, air, fire, and water. So
yep.
we have everything we need. We have everything we need without having to get anything else. Right, VG?
Fiji Nation, come here.
Ma petite.
Yeah. So, that was the three main things I had on the list. Unless somebody has, huh? Oh, Patrick. We have to share Patrick. Almost forgot. So if anybody has anything they want to ask about, any topics, content, anything for us to follow up with, just shoot it over in the chat. Remember that everybody is welcome. If you are local living, you just show up. You may want to let us know a little bit ahead of time so we can clean. Just make the walkway a little bit livable. But yeah, so local, come in, come by, sit, have a drink with us. We will make room at the table always, even if I have to back this all the way up and there's 20 of us on this pool porch. We even might end up having a couple of streams where we're actually in the pool for the service. Who knows? And then, if you are on Discord, we do have it set up now that I can pull you up on my iPad, and you can participate through the iPad. I don't know how it's going to work necessarily. We'll have to play around with it, but more than welcome to do that. But would love some more of that participation. Anyway, as we couldn't wait 10 seconds for me to finish the sentence, Mr. Lime here, Patrick 2, has made his appearance.
So Patrick, I had the original Patrick for about 3 years until Finn and VG decided they needed him more. So Joy was kind enough to craft a second Patrick for me, and he's just too cool. He's really like a whimsy, fun kind of guy, a trickster. You can put him somewhere and he moves if he doesn't want to be there. He likes, the original one liked to be in the trees. I've got to learn Patrick too. But he even came with a pipe, which is too cool. And I call it his little pot of gold.
That is too cool. Love him.
But Joy made him, and she crafts a lot of these amazing woolies. Anything you can imagine, from dragons, leprechauns, fae, green man, green woman, and they're just absolutely amazing. So we've got to get to know Patrick too, but he was crafted and birthed by Miss Joy.
Yeah, he is a staple at our house, and hopefully, well, not hopefully, he's gonna have higher aspirations. And if he doesn't, we're gonna have to Velcro his ass to a chair somewhere, because little Finny and VG cannot run off with Patrick this time around. Oh, that's nice. We could do that. Sigils and painting on the thing. That'd be fun.
That is too cool.
I did want to ask, I mentioned it earlier, what do you guys think of us doing like a circle cast at the beginning? Do you feel like that would be too much? Do you feel like it would exclude anybody? Because we can continue doing it offhand, but wouldn't mind doing it live either. We don't really do any rituals in the daytime when we do this, so that would be a little different. Like the ritual we do most always at night. Just the liminal time space feels better. and I'm not getting up at the liminal morning space. That's not going to happen. I'm too tired for that. But we are going to talk about ritual and things like that at some point. We will, I think, be more than happy. At least I am. I'll have to check with Rook. I'll be more than happy to do a circle call each time as part of it. I mean, if we're doing a pagan style service, Sunday style service, then it would make sense to start off the way I think most pagans do, and whether or not we all believe the same way, which I seriously doubt. We believe even very similar in some cases. The end result or the end all of that is, calling circle is about creating the space for joining, and for people coming together and again holding space at the same time, whether we're close or not. We are connected. I truly believe that. So I think next week we will. I think next week we'll call it. We have a very, very short, simple call. And we'll call it from seated so that we can stay on the video, or maybe we'll do it before the video starts as part of the warm-up or intro and do some specifics. And
this is our Gaia that we have out every day. Every day, BG, every day, as a reminder of Earth Day. She sits on our Earth altar.
Arthur?
Arthur.
Hey, come here. Come here. You want to go in? I'll let you in, but as soon as I let you in, you're going to want to come out.
She thinks she's missing something.
She does, because somebody came to the front door. Go on, Ma.
Probably Amazon.
Might have been Amazon. I don't know what I would have coming from Amazon.
I don't know. Although I'm excited to read. Yesterday I got a book on Baba Yaga.
Oh, that'll be cool.
Yeah.
I do not know anything about Baba Yaga except a little bit that we did, or maybe you did, when we did our witch history thing.
Yeah.
Talked about Baba Yaga a little bit. That'd be
Move
nice to learn
swiftly
about.
on your own 2 feet. For Baba Yaga, you must meet.
So yeah. Oh, that smells good, doesn't it?
That smells really good.
That's the 7 archangels. That's an owl.
That's an owl.
We do have the pigeons and the sky rats here, though. But anywho, I digress. So yeah, so we'll plan on doing that next week. I don't know if we'll start normally at 10:45. That first 15 minutes, I like the audio as we get set up and get things moved around. Trying a few different things like this little space right here to put stuff, and just to make things so you guys can see them a little bit better. I am really interested in seeing how to engage everybody. If there's something that you're thinking, like I really wish I could share this or whatever, let me know. We can set up an email or something that we can set up so you can participate if you want. If not, just listening is certainly fine. I don't want to put any pressure on anybody, but I just want to make sure that it's something that serves a need, a joy that you want to do. I don't think I have anything else on my list.
Just thank you. Next week we'll probably look at the stamps and how to do the seals. I think that's pretty cool. The wax seals.
Yes, and I'm going to make Rook practice first because I think he thinks it's a lot easier than it actually is.
Yeah.
There's an art to it.
I'm going to practice.
But we need to do some seals. We have a couple of wax stamps and seals that we can use. That'll be fun. So we'll do that. We'll do circle next week. Hopefully, I travel out of state this week. So if you are able to get that piece for the mead, then that's great. If not, this weekend I do have certification for my work that I need to do, but it's unfortunately, it's the prime of the day each day. But maybe Thursday or Friday, Joy, I might reach out to you. We can maybe hit that place that Corey had mentioned, because I want to get that mead rolling. I want to get that started and get it going. And
we've got a video of that. We got to do that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Definitely. We'll probably have multiple videos of that one. So anyway, from that, unless anybody has anything they want to share, we appreciate you stopping by, hanging out with us for a little bit. This is a relatively short one from what we've been doing, I think. But, you know, when the energy's there and goes, it's there and goes. And I hopefully you guys enjoyed. If there's something you would like to see, tell us.
Thank you. Yeah.
Like the thing I'm having the most fun with is the chat.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Definitely. It's nice. Thank you all for hanging out with us. Merry part. Blessed be. Same time next week.
Same time next week.
And I will practice the stamps.
Awesome. All right. Well, you guys have a good rest of your Sunday.
Thank you. Bye. That was a cool one.
I haven't finished yet.
That was
You have to end it
awesome.